ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lakeland Vale Let's Play series with me, CWATTYESO, here in Farming Simulator 19. It is the evening, following on from the last episode where I did my fertilizing contracts. I just want to quickly address a couple of things at the start of this video. Firstly, you'll notice I've got my liquid fertilizer pallets left over from the fertilizer contracts here. That's where I've put them. In the last video, you'll notice or remember that I bought a rack. It was one of these ones from GTX, one of the GTX farm storage shelving things. It's in here somewhere. I know it is because I bought it. There, one of these farm products liquid that I've used before in the game without any issues or problems. I bought one, I placed one, I then used the telehandler to bring my pallets to it and it wouldn't load them. So I thought that's a bit weird. So I saved the game, I logged out, I loaded up my test map, which is this map, with the same mods, but I'm not playing with seasons on that map, so I can experiment and do different things. And I had the same problem. Could not load the liquid pallets, the herbicide or liquid fertilizer into the rack. I thought, that's weird. So I thought, I wonder if it's a mod conflict. And originally, I thought it was probably a mod conflict with maybe this Agraz guy's mods, because he does like liquid fertilizer production and herbicide production, which we're going to be getting into, things like that. I disabled all his mods. I loaded up the save, my test save. Still doesn't load the liquid pallets. I then removed the manure system mod, Wopster's new manure system mod, and all the mods to do with that. And after I did that, the storage shelf would accept the pallets again. It filled up instantly with the pallets. So the manure system mod conflicts with the shelf storage mod by GTX, and I think the reason for that is the guy, whether it was Wopster or someone that does work for Wopster, must have changed the pallets. These pallets, he must have changed them a little bit. He must have done something with the actual model in the editor to obviously make the hoses and stuff from the manure system connect to them, which, you know, makes sense. For the hoses from the manure system to connect to these pallets, you need to obviously have something for the hoses to connect to. However, by doing that, he's changed the two pallets, and now they're not compatible with other mods, like the shelf storage mods. So it's going to be interesting to check on that a bit later. Also, as I record this video this afternoon, on, what day is it today? Tuesday the 14th of April, there is a video gone up on the YouTube channel this morning to do with the whole bale sorting that I did. My hay bales, obviously here in my bale barn, which somebody seems very confused about. He seems to think I was trying to put hay bales in the hay dryer. I didn't put hay bales in the hay dryer at all. My hay bales that I made on field 5, all 13 of them, I came and put in this storage shed here. This storage shed will store hay bales, silage bales and straw bales, and it will store 120 of each, which is obviously going to be very useful later on when I come to do the cows and I need silage, hay and straw for making like TMR and stuff. And I'm going to be able to hopefully chuck bales into the food mixers. And if I can't chuck bales into the food mixers, I can chuck the bales into the bale shredder that I bought. Now what I did do, because obviously the way things went with this field, I got some hay but not all hay. So I had a mixture of grass and hay on this field when I did my baling. I had a mixture of grass and hay. So I ended up with grass bales and I ended up with hay bales. I didn't really have an option there because I was baling and it was intermittent. You know, 1 minute I was making a hay bale, the next minute I was making a grass bale. You know, there was no rhyme or reason to it as I was driving along the field. It's just how it works, unfortunately, in the game. That the machine produces whatever it goes into it when it's empty. So when the baler was empty and I drove over a bit of hay, it started making a hay bale. If the baler had finished the bale and then drove over a bit of grass, it would start making a grass bale. So obviously I ended up with grass bales. Now unfortunately grass bales I can't do anything with. You can't sell them, you can't use them with your animals. So I figured I want to really make hay. Hay is the important thing. Hay, I want to be able to make hay. So I bought my hay dryer. Okay? The problem is, the hay dryer does not accept bales. So when I came here with my grass bales and I unloaded them, nothing happened. Because it doesn't accept bales. So the only way I could load this up with grass was then to take the bales, put them into my shredder. This is my shredder. To make the bales loose again. So then I can take the loose grass, put into the dryer, and turn from grass into hay. I think somebody was a bit confused. And that person was Mr. Helge. And I'm going to shout him out by name because he seemed to be the only person confused as to what a grass dryer's functionality is. Now we have got 128,000 litres of grass in the bale shredder. So what I can do now is go over here, grab a trailer or a truck. If I've got my truck, that's the wrong kind of truck really. I'm going to need to grab a tractor and I'll grab the big one just so I'm not mucking about. I'll grab the big truck, we'll empty the grass out of the bale shredder and we'll put it into the hay dryer. Okay? Following along everybody? And when I say everybody, I'm pointing a finger and looking at Mr. Helge directly, as he seems to be the one having the most difficulty with this. Might be a language barrier thing. I'm sorry I'm not speaking in German, Mr. Helge. But, you know, I don't speak German. And at this point, I could direct you to a famous line from the film Pulp Fiction, spoken by, I think it was Samuel L. Jackson, that starts with the words more or less similar to English, mother. Do you speak it? So look, we can get all the grass out of here, or as much as this trailer will hold. 45,000 litres, that's not a very big trailer. And then we can drive it over here. There we go. Our grass goes into the hay dryer. And that's how it works. Now, people will say, well, that seems to be a lot of faffing about. Put grass in the hay dryer. Why not use your loading wagon? And the answer to that is, A, I found the loading wagon to be very inefficient in the fact that as you're driving along picking up the grass swaths on the field, it misses quite a bit of the swath. It leaves bits on the edges of the swath because the pickup's not quite wide enough to get the whole swath in one go. Also, the capacity of the loading wagon is quite small, whereas the capacity of the bales, bearing in mind that each bale is 8,000 litres, so when I can transport 16 bales at a time, 16 bales, okay, that's 128,000 litres I can move in one go. That's a lot more than the loading wagon can carry. Also, the baler is faster than the loading wagon. Again, because the loading wagon suffers from the same thing that trailers suffer from now. Whatever update, whatever physics changes Giants did in their last update to the game, the loading wagons start to pull very slowly when you're going uphill or when you've got a load in them. So the loading wagons get slower and slower as they are filling up, whereas the baler keeps going at the same speed forever and ever. Okay? So I can bale a field faster than I can loading wagon it, and each time I then transport a trailer full of bales, I'm transporting more than I could with the loading wagon anyway. So that is why I use that's why I made grass bales. Yes, I could use the loading wagon, but it's purely an efficiency and economical thing. And obviously next time I make grass bales, I will know just to deliver them straight to the shredder. Just put them straight in there, don't bring them to the hay dryer and have to muck about then loading them via front loader into the hay dryer. I can cut all that process out now. But the problem was, some of these are new mods that I've never used before. So therefore, I'm trying to work out live in this Let's Play, as I'm going along, how these things work. I've not tested a lot of them beforehand. So I'm figuring them out as you are watching the video. So if I do something wrong, or I don't know how something works, then I'm going to figure out that for you, and I'm going to hopefully then show you what not to do and what you should do, if that makes sense, if you follow that. But yeah, there's just a bit of confusion on that video. Also, one of the things I want to say today, you may have noticed it on the last couple of videos, but I have now started in the description of the videos including a link to my Google Drive, where I have all the mods that I'm using on this Let's Play series uploaded. There is an entire folder called Lakeland Vale, which has every single mod that I am using. And as I update mods throughout the series, I will update the Google Drive. As I remove mods from the Let's Play, I will update the Google Drive. So the link is there, and it will be there now throughout the rest of the series under every video. So if you want to download the mods and play along with me on this map, you can do. The only thing, of course, that I ask is if you do download a mod from my Google Drive, or you download the mods from the Google Drive, you at least take a moment to say thank you in the comment section below the video. Okay, don't just run up, don't just steal the mods and run, sort of thing. And certainly don't then go and upload my mods to any other websites or anything, please. Please don't re-upload any of the mods anywhere else. Because I've edited some of the mods for my own use, and I've tweaked some of the mods. And therefore I don't want to get into trouble with mod authors, because when you open the mods, it's going to have my name as the author. And I don't want mod authors accusing me of stealing their work and re-uploading it and stuff without their permission when it's not me doing it. So please, don't re-upload the mods. Keep them nice and safe and secure. Right, chickens are going to need some food. Their cleanliness is still pretty high. The chickens aren't making a mess. That's very good. Right, we're going to feed the chickens. That is what we're going to do. We're also going to check on the sheep. Check on those. Water is at 76. Grass is at 80%. So they're going to need a little bit of food. They get most of their food from the grass field, though, in all fairness to them. So I did put the bucket back on the front when I was doing my test of the pallet storage system. What I may do now is, I may try one of Agraz, because I've got a pallet storage mod pack from Agraz. I think his name is Agraz. Which I might put the link with I much prefer the GTX ones, because it's one very small shelf with a very small footprint, which you can use for which you can use for storing your liquid fertilizer pallets on and your liquid herbicide. It basically, it's one very small footprint shelf that stores both pallets, a set amount of each pallet, which is very useful. I'm not particularly keen to have a massive, great big object in my shed that only takes one pallet, one fill type, like only takes you know, liquid fertilizer or something stupid like that. Right, that is done. The wheat has been delivered. Right, I need to go get some grass now for the sheep. Grass, and it's the first, like I say, first day of summer. Haven't looked to see what contracts are available yet. I haven't even checked to see our fields, what our fields are looking like. We'll do that in a second. Yeah, summer is here. Lovely Texas summer morning. 22 degrees. Lovely weather. Lovely weather. Take some grass to the sheep. I need to move the grass that's in that system as well at some point. But now, oh no! Disaster! That is going to be a disaster, I think. Can I get into that pen? Is there a way for me to open a gate? That's the only thing I don't like about filling animal pens with buckets, because they don't stop filling. The buckets will continue pouring and pouring and pouring material, and making a mess. Whereas at least when you're doing it with a trailer, the trailer will stop pouring. None of the sheep have thankfully made a break for freedom, which is nice. Get out of here and close the gate first. So yeah. Right. Problem solved. Right, next thing we're going to look at doing then, next job, fertilising the grass field. We haven't been able to do it in spring because herbicide was used, and it doesn't like it when you use herbicide. However, the field is now ready to be mowed again, so I don't think I can spray fertiliser on it. We will check. It's going to be so annoying that, if that's the case, because you need to kill the weeds So you have to spray with herbicide because mechanical weeders, as we've already proven, are just complete rubbish and a waste of time because they don't stop the weeds from growing back. So they don't prevent the weeds from returning. Only the herbicide will stop weeds completely from a field. And that means that, unfortunately, once you've applied the herbicide, apparently fertilizer doesn't register, which is a bit weird. Right, we need to get rid of the front loader, as I'm not going to be picking up any bales or anything anytime soon. Okay. We'll take out... I don't know whether to take the fertilizing machine or the sprayer. I think the sprayer's got herbicide in it, hasn't it? It has. However, that's not a problem, because what I can do is empty the herbicide out into my little tank that I've got round here. Then I can go fill up with the pallets that I've just got sat in the shed. Wait a minute. Why is this? What's going on? I don't want to fill. I want to empty. Okay, so the trigger is not anywhere near that box, apparently. That's the issue there. The trigger is nowhere near the box. Right, okay. Right, I'm just going to take that pallet first of all, because that's the partial pallet. That one was the partially empty one, so I'm not too worried about wasting this. But what I don't want to do is fill, obviously, all the pallets, because I can't empty this into pallets. This has to empty into a storage tank. So... bit of swings and roundabouts at the moment. I've got some machines that will only empty into tanks and some machines that will empty into pallets, and it makes it very difficult to come up with one storage solution that solves all purposes. Soil composition, this is probably not going to work. Come on, game. Don't do this to me. I'm spraying, but I'm not seeing a ground change. I don't think this is going to work. I don't. In all honesty, which is a bit of a pity. Nope. Doesn't work. See, that's in kind of what some ways Seasons has fixed some things, like in the vanilla game. In the vanilla game, you can actually fertilize grass when it's ready to be harvested. Did you know that? I'm sure many of you didn't, but you can actually fertilize grass that's ready to be mowed, allowing you to get that bonus yield for being 2 stages of fertilizing. So no, it's a bit cheaty to do that, but you can do that in the vanilla game. So Seasons have fixed that by saying, no, once a crop is ready to harvest, that's it. Fertilizer has no effect on it. Fine, fair enough. That's perfectly okay. Glad you fixed that loophole then, Seasons, and made the game realistic. However, you've caused another problem then. You've actually caused a problem with the herbicide. Because now that I've sprayed that field with herbicide, once you've sprayed it, it doesn't accept fertilizer over the top. So I've either got to remember to do the herbicide first, I've got to remember to fertilize first and then spray the weeds, or I am screwed. Right. There's also another mod causing a bug somewhere, because I keep getting this missing L10 thing whenever I come in here. Right, Agraz. I was going to look at this guy, wasn't I? A liquid fertilizer. Stores liquid fertilizer pallets. Trouble is, I don't really want it outside, do I? Because ideally I wanted to keep me pallets of products in a shed, but I don't fancy putting a shed in a shed, if that makes sense. So I probably am not going to use those. They may also have the same problem as GTX's mod, whereby, because I'm using the manure, the simple thing people would say is remove the manure mod, remove that. And honestly, I might do that, because it's not something I've ever used before, and to be honest, do I really want to be faffing around with pipes? When it comes time to empty slurry from my pigs and my cows, do I want to be faffing about with pipes? And the answer to that is probably no. I'm probably just going to want to drive a tanker up to it and fill a tanker up. By the way, the Lizard flat deck auto load mod, made by the guy who does the global auto load script, he's updated this mod. If you go to Nexus mods, and download the updated version of this trailer will auto load all the pallets and stuff made by the Straw add-on DLC. So there's a public service announcement for everybody. Also, I've got the new updated universal tank pack as well, which includes support for the manure system mod. You can connect pipes to the back of the tanks and stuff. He also includes 2 hook lift trucks with tanks on the back. However, I don't know what capacity they are, it doesn't tell you. I'm guessing it's because he's using a shuttle tank. It's either going to be 15,000 litres or 30,000 litres, depending on which one. And obviously we've got this one as well, which had varying degrees of success with this particular tanker. On Lone Oak, when I was doing my Lone Oak series on Twitch, this tanker wasn't very good at all, because it never seemed to empty properly. It'd lift up, it'd empty a little bit, and then it'd go back down again, and you'd have to lift it up, empty a bit more, and then it'd go down again. It wouldn't just continuously lift and empty in one go. And then we've also used this more recently on Ballydawn, and found that on some of the triggers on Ballydawn, The triggers don't recognise this tanker at all, so you can't unload. The only way we've found to be able to unload is to put one of the little trailers on the back of our truck and unload from that tank into this one, and then unload this into the sell point, which is a bit of a convoluted faff about, but that was the only way we was able to achieve it. And there we go. But yeah, big tankers as always, 14,000 litres, 28,000 on that one. I've changed these myself. 80,000 on the big boy. And then obviously liquid manure hoses that he gives you to now fill to connect with the manure mod. But like I say, I'm thinking I might remove the manure mod for the simple reason that I kind of would prefer to use the shelf storage mod. Have the ability to load pallets, to store these pallets in a shelf. They're not too bad there, they're out the way. I did move them by hand and put them there for that reason. But yeah, it's the first day of summer. We can either mow the grass again, which will be next episode. Wow, some of the fields have withered apparently. Wow, dudes let potatoes and sugar beets wither. Seems a bit crazy. Or, in the next video, we can look at maybe contracts. Do I want to do sowing again? I've done some sowing, I've done some fertilising. There's a couple of, there's, well, 2 fields of cultivating to do. There's a strange random job for the summer. What fields were they? 14 and 15, which is probably them 2 that have withered. Yeah, 14 and 15. You know what? I'm going to queue them up. Dude's given me a different cultivator there and truck. We've already got that. That's our truck. So if I'm going to borrow any, I'm going to borrow that one. And I'm going to borrow that one. So when we whiz up to the store, which we'll do now, we'll be ready for contracting. Now I'm going to take a screenshot because I haven't done one yet this video. There's a screenshot. So next video we'll go off and do 2 cultivating jobs to get things started, get things moving. If I've got to do any more explanations on videos, I'll keep my eyes out for that. I hope I've cleared up the issue with the grass bales, hay bales, bale shredder, hay dryer. Hope Mr. Helge now understands the concept and process behind that. And I also hope everyone is happy that I've included a link to my mod list, my mod folder, where you can download all the mods I'm using. Just again, remember to say thank you if you do download any of my mods from the Google Drive, and please don't share them anywhere or upload them to any websites because you'll get in trouble. Anyway, I've been CWATTYESO. This has been Dolores Floffelboffin. This has been the Lakeland Vale Let's Play series. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, click the like button, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, and please share this video wherever and with whomever you see fit. I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye for now.